Hi, I'm Felicity Fletcher. I'm an avid reader, I'm a hopeful author, and I am a practicing witch and astrologer. And you have found my weekly astrology videos. Welcome. This video is covering the week of Sunday, March 9th through Saturday, March 15th. Let's jump right in. As always, I'm going to start by talking about the moon. So on Sunday the 9th, the moon is going to be moving into Leo. Leo moon tends to be a lot about drama, a lot about people fighting for the spotlight. A good analogy for the Leo moon is when the moon's in Leo, we all want to be on stage. We want to be a part of that drama. We want the spotlight on us. The reason why is because it is a very warm and generous energy that gives us the confidence to get involved, to get on stage, to become part of the drama. And specifically this Leo moon, I am seeing a lot of attention seeking, people chasing attention. One thing we do need to do during this Leo moon is to be careful who we are paying attention to, who we are giving our attention to, and what we are providing when we're asking people for attention. Are we asking people to listen to us and then not providing anything of quality? Are we listening to people who are providing us something that is not quality or something that could potentially hurt us? We need to be careful who and what we are paying attention to, and we need to be careful also who we're seeking attention from. Then on Wednesday the 12th, the moon's moving into Virgo. Virgo is all about getting things right. Virgo doesn't need to be in the spotlight because the people in the spotlight are ignoring the details, and that's what Virgo cares about. Virgo cares about trying to figure out what's falling through the cracks, keeping stuff from falling through the cracks, and then fixing the cracks so nothing else can fall through. While the moon is in Virgo, we have a really good opportunity to work on ourselves. We have a good opportunity to really put the work in, whether it be at our actual jobs, but also a lot of time with Virgo, it's also a really good time to start health initiatives. If you're looking to try a new routine, get on a new diet, start a new exercise plan, do that while the moon is in Virgo. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Virgo moon in just a moment, but first I do want to cover on Friday the 14th, the moon's moving into Libra. When the moon's in Libra, we care a lot more about diplomacy. We care about what people think of us, and we care about how they are interacting with us and how we are interacting with them. We tend to be a lot more indirect with how we communicate with others. We tend to not really fight for what we want, but instead try to figure out how we can balance between what we want and what others want. I do see this specific Libra moon is going to have a lot of fear surrounding it, specifically fear of losing support. So you may see people doing drastic things if they think that the people around them are no longer supporting them. If there are issues there, people may do something drastic if they feel like you are not supporting them. They may be worried that you're not going to support them anymore. I think we're going to see this a lot in our jobs, so we just need to be patient and ready for that. So I did mention we were coming back to that Virgo moon because the moon will be full on Friday the 14th while the moon is in Virgo. So right before it moves into Libra, it is a full moon. It means the moon's in Virgo. The sun is in Pisces. Specifically, this is a lunar eclipse. Eclipses tend to have a lot more energy involved with them. The pattern from the eclipse tends to last weeks. So what I'm going to be talking about here is an energy that we're going to be feeling for a couple weeks, and then we have a solar eclipse coming up. So it's more of a pattern. Eclipses run in patterns. So specifically, this is the second eclipse of 7 that are on this Virgo Pisces axis. Specifically, it started on September 17th of last year. So one thing you might want to do is kind of go back and see who you were. What was going on last September? What big decisions did you have to make? Because most likely, you found yourself trying to find a balance between work and rest. Because that's what this lunar eclipse is about. It is about finding that balance between Virgo putting in the work and Pisces asking us to take a break. This specific eclipse I'm really getting is a spiritual eclipse. This is all about building faith in what we believe in. It's about taking those steps to really get deeper into your spirituality, to really understand your belief system. This is a good time to ask yourself, why do I believe certain things? How was I told in the past about these things? How does my childhood influence what I believe today? This is also a good time to really get organized. This is a time where if you are looking for work or looking to try to find a new career or a new job, this is a time to really put in the effort. But you also have to rest. This eclipse, this full moon, is really going to be highlighting and illuminating where we are out of balance in our work-life balance. Are you working too much? Is your job expecting too much of you? Is it influencing your day-to-day? Is it influencing your relationships? Where specifically is it doing it the most? Where can you build a boundary? Virgo is all about boundaries. Virgo wants everything in its own box. Pisces doesn't want any boundaries. So instead of creating too many boundaries, the Pisces side of this might require us to take some of those boundaries away. But if we don't have enough boundaries, the Virgo side of this is going to put more boundaries in place. We may find ourselves in a time of crisis during this eclipse. That can happen, and other people are going to find themselves in crisis as well. So you might have people lashing out, you might have people getting really upset, and a lot of this just has to do with how out of balance they are. The more out of balance people are, the more this eclipse is going to affect them, because they're going to be asked to change something. And if you don't understand why you're being asked to change, or if you don't want to change and it's being forced on you, we all know how we accept change. And usually it's not that great. So there are going to be people lashing out, getting worked up. There are going to be people that find themselves in crisis. The final note I have on this lunar eclipse is this is the time where we are going to learn how to be in touch with us, with ourselves. This is a time where you will learn how to listen to your body, how to listen to your intuition, how to truly be in touch with yourself. Be open to the lesson. I talk about that a lot with astrology, about being open to the lessons, being open to change. And it's a reminder that we probably need every single week. I need it every single week. And so specifically here, be open to the lesson on how you can be more in touch with yourself. That is the big energy for the week. That is what's going to be taking up a lot of the conversation, especially if you are in other astrology communities. You're going to hear a lot about that. But I do want to continue on with the rest of the astrology for the week. Before I talk about the different aspects, there is one more big thing to talk about. So I guess it's not the biggest, well, it's the biggest, but there's another big thing to talk about. And that is on Saturday the 15th, Mercury is going retrograde. It's not the end of the world. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. We are used to it. We live quite a bit of our life with Mercury retrograde or Mercury in shadow. It's just a thing. It happens. But I will remind you every single time Mercury goes retrograde, because I remind myself every time that Mercury goes retrograde. The biggest thing is you need to take time. Mercury retrograde is asking us to slow down. When your computers stop working at your job, you need to learn to sit and be patient. A lot of times there's going to be people pushing you, oh, you have to stay busy, you have to get it working, you have to start clicking random things on your computer. First of all, don't do that. That drives the IT people nuts. Anybody who's in tech, that drives them nuts. Also, just sit for a moment. Just sit. When you go to a restaurant and things are crazy busy because something is not working correctly, Take that time to just sit. Maybe it's going to take the waitress a little bit longer to get to you. That's okay. When she does, maybe just listen to her. Or him. Can be whoever. When you go out to eat, whoever the serving staff is, listen to them when they finally come to you. Maybe they've had a bad day and just having someone listen for a moment is going to make all the difference. And by listening, what are you going to learn? So we need to take our time when Mercury is in retrograde. We need to just sit with it. There's no need to get upset. There's no need to rush around. Yeah, things aren't always going to work right, but maybe it's just giving us the time we need. So we have a few aspects to talk about. So we're going back to Tuesday, the 11th. Mercury is going to be conjunct Venus. Now, one thing to remember with this is before Mercury goes retrograde, but Venus is retrograde right now. So we are going to see a lot of personal interactions, and specifically with Venus retrograde, I think we're going to be seeing people from our past coming up. So don't be surprised if during this aspect you have someone who you used to work with or used to be friends with kind of coming up and coming back, even possibly an ex. This is a time where we tend to express our feelings a lot more. We do need to be careful with Venus retrograde. We need to dissect those feelings that we are expressing. So when you are talking about how you feel on Tuesday, really listen to yourself. Is there something coming up that you probably shouldn't be expressing? Or maybe there's a feeling that you need to kind of work through. Maybe there's something you're upset about or angry about that you just need to figure out the root cause as to why. So listen to yourself as you're expressing yourself. This is usually a time of a lot of cooperation and teamwork. I still believe that true with Venus retrograde. Some things might kind of revert back to old ways of working as a team. Maybe you're going to need to learn from past mistakes that you made while working as a part of a team. This is also a very creative time. So I do recommend, if there is something creative you like to do in your life, take the time on Tuesday to do that. Then on Wednesday the 12th, the sun is going to conjunct Saturn. So this aspect is all about discipline, responsibility, authority, hard work. One of the biggest things when the sun is conjunct Saturn is that it can either bring us reward and good luck, or it can bring us punishment. It can bring us difficulties. And that is all dependent on the effort that you have been putting in. This is not something where on Wednesday you wake up and you put in extra effort and all of a sudden all these good things come to you. No. What effort have you been putting in this entire week? What effort have you been putting in this entire month? Saturn is very karmic. Saturn cares about things that happened a year ago, 5 years ago. Have you learned from those things? Are you still putting in the work? Are you trying hard? This sun conjunct Saturn, whenever sun is conjunct Saturn, it's going to bring that up, and it is going to either reward you or it's going to punish you. This is a really good time to put structures in place for the future, to understand that, hey, maybe I need to put more of an effort in. So this is the time to put the structures in place to have that effort come more easily. This could be a time where you build on the structures you already have in your life. But this is the time where you will have the energy, the motivation, and the willpower to really take some time and make sure that the foundation is there for you to build off of. The final thing we're going to talk about is on Friday the 14th, the sun is sextile Uranus. This is a pretty fun aspect. It has a very expect the unexpected energy, but in a more pleasant way than sometimes. This is a lot of just, you never know what's going to come out of the woodworks. You never know what phone call you're going to get, what party you're going to be invited to, what direction your night's going to go. For an aspect like this on Friday night, if you get invited out somewhere, say yes. Go. Enjoy. Have fun. This is a very flamboyant energy. This is a very curious energy. We are going to be feeling very social. We'll want to get out there and meet people. And this is a good time to just see what you see. Talk to people. Find out more about them. It will be very hard on Friday to stick to a routine. So you're pretty much, your best bet is to just not even try in the first place. When you get up on Friday, just go with the flow. Do whatever happens. They want you in at work at 8 o'clock and you usually don't go until 3 in the afternoon. You just say yes and you go in at 8 o'clock. Just go with the flow. That is it for this week. We have an interesting week. We have a lot of self-discovery coming up. And I will see you all next week. If you want to support the videos, you can always like, subscribe. But all I really ask is that you come back here next week. I'll see you then.